So how is everyone doing? Just checking, making sure everyone's in here. Thanks for joining. This was a very last minute call. I was quite, we weren't around last, we were not around last week because I was having a little bit of a break. For some of you will know it's been quite an intense week, last couple of weeks, due to the end of the sale, the very fast delivery of the Healys in the UK anyway. So they came very fast, and I had a lot of members who were asking for some advice and some help on how to use it. At the same time, there was a lot of people having issues with their Healys due to the migration changeover. So it was all a huge, big scrambling mess, really, of trying to help many excited people. And at the same time, you know, the whole excitement of the migration of the new system from, you know, to Healy 2.0. And I know that some of you who are in the group right now will be still wondering how to get onto the new shop. And I know that it's possible from some countries, but in Europe at the moment, I haven't been able to get onto the shop. So it's been a little bit frustrating because I do have a few people who are waiting to purchase a few things. And if you are also having issues for that, please just let me know if it's in your country as well. I have actually messaged my team leader who's currently investigating that, and I'm just making sure that, you know, I'm sure they know about it, but just that they know and that we're waiting patiently for that just to go ahead, which is exciting. And so today I'll just do a little update. Thank you for everyone who's joining here in the Zoom. It's really nice to see you and see some faces with me in here. That's lovely because I'm flying solo tonight. Vicky's not around. She's got children and they're going to be off school at the moment, so it's a little bit tricky for her to join every week. But that's no problem because I've got lots going on and I've got a really good fun session to have with us today as well. So it's going to be quite exciting, and I'm going to do a little introduction about what we're going to do in just a second. So also, I just wanted to ask anyone in the Zoom here, if any of you would like to ask any questions, or if you've got questions at all on anything at all regarding Healy, feel free to put it in the chat, and I'll do my best to help you and answer your questions. And we can also you can also ask some questions if you want to. I've just at the moment muted everybody in the room for now, but if you do want to say something, feel free to unmute yourself and just to, you know, ask during the whole scan that I'm going to do. So yeah, lovely. So I'm just, I'm hoping now that we've got a few people watching on the live stream. I'm just going to just double check that now. Just bear with me a second to see if we've got some people who are joining there. It's been nice weather finally today, which is really good. I'm excited by that because it's been quite rainy the last weeks. So it's really good that we are finally in a it feels a bit like summer. We've got a few people watching, so that's really good. Welcome everyone. Feel free to put in where you're coming from, where you're joining in from. Hi Ali, lovely to see you. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're actually going to work from this book that I have, which I've had for ages, and I haven't actually used it because I don't actually have many of the sacred oils. I know that some of you will know sacred oils better than myself. I do try to educate myself on them, and I would love to just experiment by putting them into the Healy today to see what we can do. So this is the book. It's called Sacred Oils, and it's by a lady called Felicity Warner, and I really recommend it because it's a really it's packed full of really interesting information, but also it gives you meditations, and it also gives you the information about each oil, what it's good for. But also something that I really love is in this book is it shows you, it actually gives you mandalas of each oil. So pictures of each one, which actually the oils themselves have, well, she writes in here that the, I'm just going to read it so, just to make sure I get it right. She's written here that the that these mandalas have actually been channeled by the oils themselves. So I would like today to actually try to put these oils into the Healy and send them into the field of either myself or maybe someone in the group. I'm just wondering if anyone in Zoom wants me to do an aura scan on them and then send the sacred oils into their field. I can do that. And if not, it's fine, because I can just do it on Healy Avalon, or I could do it on myself. So if you feel like you'd like to try, feel free to just pop in the chat that you'll be up for it, and we can do a scan and we can send the sacred oils into your field. And I will share my screen in a second. I just want to explain a little bit about sacred oils, because sacred oils are used for like many different things, and you can use them for meditation. You can also use them for healing soul wounds. So any kind of traumatic event you've ever had in your life or in a past life, it's very good for that as well. So you can like send that, that's really good for helping the soul. It's very good for expanding and scanning the energy field. You can also cleanse the aura, which is what we're going to do with it today. You can do anointing, ritual, opening the third eye, accessing past life information, creating sacred space, and for vision as well, vision and prophecy. So there's lots you can do with sacred oils, and I'm just going to go through some of them because there is 20 in total, and I'll explain what each one is, and then we're going to just pick a few of them. Hi everybody who's joining. Hi from Spain, lovely. Hi Kelly and everyone here in the chat, that's great. I'm up for it. Oh great. Baby Gun, I don't know what your real name is, but if you would like to go ahead and do you want to, what's your name actually? Do you want to just unmute yourself a second? Michelle, okay, thank you. Michelle, do you want to pop in the chat there your details? What I need from you is your full name. I need your date of birth. Yeah. I also need your place of birth, so whereabouts you were born. And also, what else do I need? I'm just thinking, I think that's it actually. So just the place of birth, date of birth, full name. I think that's it. But when we get to when I add you as a client, we can just make sure we've got everything. So just to go through some of the oils that we're going to do with what we're going to work with today, or what we might work with, maybe not all of them, but it might be nice because Michelle might actually feel like she is has intuitive feelings towards one of them, or she may like them. So have you worked with oils before, Michelle? Oh, hold on, I don't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. Hi, welcome. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I've just worked with oils with myself, so I use essential oils. I've never used sacred oils though.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, these particular ones are specifically sacred because they're used in like other ways and ritual ways as well. And in this book, it explains why. So yeah, what we're going to do then, I'm just going to read through some of them, and you can just see if any of them stand out to you, because they're the ones we can use, but also we can decide based on this scan as well that we do for you. So the first one that I am is called Angelica. It's a master teacher. We've got cedarwood, which is strength of spirit. We've got LMI, which is letting go and surrender. We've got Fragonia, which is for transitions of every kind. And Frankincense, which is for aligning spirit and soul with the divine. Now we've also got Galbanum, which is opening portals. Holy Basil, which is reconnecting with the divine life force. We've then got Marigold, which is vision and prophecy. And that particular one is actually connected to Mary Magdalene as well, which I really love, actually. I like the fact that it's connected to her. We've got Myrtle, which is the gatekeeper of the sacred threshold for summoning the muse. We've got Upanax for shape shifting and shape borrowing. I mean, some of this might not make sense to you because I'm not going in depth about each sacred oil because it will take too long, but just to give you an overview. Continuing, we've got Palo Santo, which is for protection, Patchouli for grounding, Raven Sarah for healing soul wounds. We've got Rose, which is for love, learning to love yourself and your inner child. We've got Sandalwood, which is for meditation and listening deeply. Silver Fir for journeying and accessing personal power. Spikenard, which is the Consolamentum oil, a glimpse of paradise. We've got Violet Leaf, which is for extreme grief. And we've got Yarrow for sensitivity, fear, and soul wounds. So there is quite a few there that, you know, maybe you remember one or two of them. It doesn't really matter. We can go through them again later. But if you want to, you know, have a think about the ones that might have stood out to you, and we can work with those today, or we can go through them again in a little while. So what I'm going to actually do now is just before we continue, I'll just explain the sacred oils, why they're sacred, okay? Oils are powerful and divine intelligences. They're energy and light manifested in matter. They're sacred tools of consciousness. They have energy signatures that resonate with the human soul and spirit. They also help us to project consciousness for use in healing and healing others and to become multidimensional. They can prompt visionary experiences and take us back to past lives. They can be used as tools for mass consciousness as well, and they heal the light body and the soul. So there are, for many reasons, sacred oils have been used in the past. And for those who want to know what the book is called, Kelly was asking, it's called Sacred Oils, okay? And it's by a lady called Felicity Warner. So I will post the link afterwards so you can take this book. It's such a good book. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get logged onto the Healy, and we can start to work with Michelle, who has volunteered to work today and have her aura scan read. Okay, so here we go. Just gonna share the screen now. Okay, perfect. Now, for those who don't know anything about Healy and I've just received their Healy, I just want to explain a little bit what we're doing. Healy can actually do more than just do the scanning. Some of you will know, some of you won't know. There's quite a few videos around the online which explain different ways you can use the Healy. And I know I have a lot of people asking me about how to do this extra, these extra things with Healy. So we're going to just do a little demo, and those that are interested can feel free to set up their Healy and do it along with me. All right, so I'm just going to take that off charge. All right, so we're going to go and log on to the for the Healy app. Okay, so we've got the blue dot app open, and we're going to add in Michelle's details. So I'm just going to go to the chat so I can get it up here. Okay, so if we add a client, this is the way to do it. So client, and actually Michelle, I'm going to need, actually it's okay, I need a photo of you, but what I'll do is I'll take a photograph of you on the screen. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, brilliant. Obviously everyone will see me take a photo of you now because we're sharing the screen. Okay. Perfect, that should work. All right, so just going back to the Healy app, we're going to now add a client. So we go to clients, and we're going to add client, which is at the top, and we're going to add a person. Now you can add also an animal in there, you can add a plant, an organization, or a group, so you can choose whatever you'd like to add in. And we're going to first add in title. So what's, are you Ms., Mrs.? Mrs., okay, yeah. Mrs. We've got Michelle Healy, so Michelle. And surname. Yeah, okay, brilliant. We're going to add now the date of birth, which is, we always go to the year first whenever we add anyone into the Healy. If anyone's wondering, it's always the very top date of birth, and I have quite a few people asking me about that sometimes, how to do it. Okay, so 1975, and then 29th of October, the same birthday as my mum. So 29th of October 1975. Okay, set that. And then the place of birth, we've got St. Helens. Okay, fantastic. Great. All right, female. The rest we don't need to fill in. It's not important. And we're going to add the picture, which we just took from the gallery. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. She's in there. All right. So we're going to press the little tick at the top. And we're going to, yes, perform a new client analysis. Okay, so now we've got the client in, Michelle's in there. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and perform an aura analysis, because to be able to put in any oils at all into the Healy, we're going to have to do that first, okay? Because that way we can enter our own desires and our own manifestations and things like that. So we're going to click on aura analysis. And we're going to just record the aura of Michelle. So if you can just focus inwards and just connect with the Healy. All right, I'm going to start to record your aura. I'm going to turn it on first. Okay, so it's going to record your aura in any moment. Okay, so we're going to have a little look and see what's come up by clicking the 3 bars in the top corner. Wow. Great. That's a really good aura reading.
Oh, good.
It's brilliant. I mean, have you got a Healy?
Yes.
Great. How long have you had your Healy for?
Since Christmas.
Oh, right. Okay, so fairly quite a while.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So as you can see here on the screen, it's a pretty good aura scan. It's definitely better than mine today. Mine was not so good. And, you know, you have these days ups and down. The only one down that's the lowest there is 75, which is not low at all, but it's the crown. Mm-hmm. So whenever we're doing a scan and we're going to do putting our own oils, what we're going to do is we're just going to tick one of the boxes, okay, which is usually the lowest one. But actually, if anybody would like to do one of the others, if you'd like to do one of the others, that's also possible if you would prefer to work with a specific chakra. What's your intuition saying? Would you like to work with the lowest one, or is there a specific chakra that you like to work with?
Yeah, I'll work with the lowest one, please.
Okay, perfect. So anyone that's doing this and wants to put in their own, we're going to just tick one box. And the reason for that is because for every one we get 3 readings, and we don't want to have all those readings in there at the time. We only need to have one of them. So I'm just going to untick the boxes. Now, another thing which I also recommend for anyone who's doing this is we're going to change the focus on the next step, okay? And if you don't really know what focus you want to have, a really good way to know or to choose one is by going into the interpretation, which is clicking on that arrow there where it says interpretation, which gives you usually an explanation of each chakra. And it's not going to give me the lowest one, is it? No, sometimes it gives you the lowest one, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, just so that you know, in the future, you can actually go inside there if your one is in there. And if you go down to Affirmations, which is here, you can actually choose one of the affirmations which goes into the next focus in the next screen I'm going to show you, okay? It might not make sense now, but just so that you know, there's affirmations that are in there that can be very useful for the next step. Okay, so we're just going to close this down. I've actually written down a few from from earlier for the crown, so we're okay. So let's go. I'm going to start the analysis. And as you can see on this page, it says the focus, and it says my aura is strong and stable. Now, this is where I usually put in the affirmation of whatever you would like to choose. So it might be something that you're currently working with. It might be something that you specifically would like to manifest in your life. So usually I change it. So we can just click inside the box like that and we delete it. Now, Michelle, is there any specific focus that you would like to put in there, or would you like me to suggest some?
Yes, standing strong within my boundaries and my resolve.
Brilliant. Standing strong within my boundaries.
And my resolve.
And my resolve. Just going to admit someone in. Okay. Standing strong within my boundaries and my resolve. Let's just put a space there. Might help. Great. So as you can see, we've now changed the focus, and we're just going to. That's perfect. All right, go back to this page. Brilliant. So as you can see, we've done that. And now we're going to start the analysis, okay, with that focus in your mind, Michelle, if you just keep that in there. And I'm going to, if you just want to close your eyes and just focus inwards on that, and we're going to start the analysis. Here we go. Okay, perfect. So this is what's come up for you on your aura scan. All right, for the crown. Now, at this stage, it doesn't really matter what's on it, because we might not even use the crown. We might not use this, but sometimes I usually leave it in just because it's come up on the scan, and why not? So I'll let you read it. And, you know, I'll just go through it briefly. And then, and again, you can see that the desired state is always what we're going to send the frequency for. Okay. So in that desired state, you will see there is an affirmation, which is, I master the challenges of my life with ease and I'm internally strong. So you're going to get a different affirmation for each reading. All right. So we're just going to go through them. I'll let you read them. Does any of this make sense? Or
yes.
Okay, perfect. And then obviously this one, the affirmation there, I feel oneness with everything that is and feel connected with everything. Okay. Now, also in this stage, if you've got a client that you're working with, it's a really nice idea to get them to actually repeat the affirmation. So I don't know if you wanted to say the 3 affirmations, Michelle, before we get started. Do you want to start with this one?
I master the challenges of my life with ease and I am internally strong.
Perfect. And then moving on to the next one.
I feel oneness with everything that is and I feel connected with everything.
Perfect. And the final one.
The existing state is further anchored. I'm able to take authority for my own life and can also acknowledge other authorities.
Great. So that makes a lot of sense when your focus is regarding boundaries.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, for everyone here as well, what we can do now, so this is where it gets exciting. What we can do now is we can actually choose whether we want to keep those in here. Now, there are lots of videos around the internet where if you see the cross and the little pen at the bottom of each reading, there's going to be one for every single one. We have the choice now to delete it completely, or we can keep it in there. Okay. We can also edit them. All right. Now, we can do both. We can also add our own as well. So what I'm usually doing is if there's something really resonates with the person, so if there's something there that resonates with you, Michelle, let me know. And what we can do is we can actually add in to one of these readings, one of the sacred oils that will help that.
Yeah.
So is there any there that kind of stand out to you? Would you like to use all 3?
Out of each, out of one of those 3, which one do you want to use?
Yeah, I mean, you can pick all 3 of them, but we're just going to pick a sacred oil which will help with that specific thing.
I think the one, I feel oneness with everything that is and I feel connected with everything would be good, because I feel a bit disconnected with what's going on in the world right now.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Brilliant. So what we can do now is with the Sacred Oils book, and I showed some of you earlier, if some of you have just joined now, there is a section in the book which actually has mandalas for every single oil. And I've already photographed them on my phone, so we're going to see them in a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick, we can pick as many sacred oils as you want, actually, depending on what actually fits with that specific reading. So this one is about, so about feeling connected, isn't it? And about feeling the oneness and just being connectly divine with the soul. So just going through some of the oils. We've got strength of spirit with cedarwood atlas. We've got aligning spirit and soul with the divine, which is frankincense. So just let me know if something resonates with you, Michelle, and then we'll just, and what we'll do is we'll just go and we'll put that oil into the scan.
Yeah. What was the frankincense one, the cedar one were two on my radar, and the other one was the portal one?
Okay, so yes, so the portal one is, let me just go, we've got, let me just go again to where we were. Cedarwood is strength of spirit. Frankincense is aligning spirit and soul with the divine. And then we've got, in which one was it? Let's see, the portals. So we've got master teacher, which is Angelica. Letting go and surrender, which is LMI. We've got reconnecting with the divine life force, which is Holy Basil. Yeah.
Sorry. Did you get to the portal one before I...
Hold on, let me just find it. 1 second. It's disappeared.
I'm really interested in the portal one.
Yeah, Galbanum, which is opening portals.
What kind of portals?
Well, let me just go to the page and then we can have a quick look at what it is, okay? And we can go a bit more deeper into it. Here we go. So opening portals. It is important to know that every single human being from the moment of birth until the moment when we make the transition and end this physical existence is in the presence of guides or guardian angels who will wait for us and help us in the transition from life to life after death. So this particular one is, let's just have a look. So I'm just going to go to the page. Let's just have a quick look. So it's a great teacher of the soul, and it may reveal secrets to you. These could be anything from aspects of your own shadow to insights into the past, into past lives. It may trigger also painful memories or information from etheric time warps. So it's an oil that's for very experienced spiritual practitioners usually, and it shouldn't be used lightly.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that might be a bit too intense. So I'll go with frankincense, please.
Okay, yeah, sure. But it's, you know what, this book is so good because you can learn so much from them. And if anyone is working and wants to work with sacred oils and would like to try to use them digitally through frequency, this is a really good way to do it. All right, which is why we're doing it. And it's okay, frankincense. All right, do you want me to read a little bit about frankincense to you?
Yes, please.
Before we get started, so you know. Just going to find it quickly. (103). So yeah, this is aligning spirit and soul with the divine. So every cell in your body has a direct relationship with the creative life force, and each cell is independently responding. When you feel joy, all the circuits are open, so the life force can be fully received. When you feel guilt, blame, fear, or anger, the circuits are hindered and the life force cannot flow as effectively. Physical experience is about monitoring those circuits and keeping them as open as possible. Your cells know what to do. They are summoning the energy. Mm-hmm. So that sounds good, doesn't it? And it kind of works. I think it kind of fits really nicely with the Healy, actually.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to look for frankincense because I took pictures of on my phone earlier, and we're going to add it in. So this is how we do it. All right. We're going to go to the bottom where it's the little pen. All right. Which is going to open up where it says edit entry. Okay. Now in here, we're actually able to edit anything you like. So if there's something in there that doesn't really resonate, or you want to add something to it, we can add it in there. We're not going to do that today because I think that the scan is pretty good. And what we're going to do is we're going to just scroll down. And as you can see, we've got relevance, which is already in there already because of the scan. And it's already got the potency and the intensity. Okay, so we're going to leave that the same. Now that's going to be very different to when we put our own entry in, actually. All right, which we're going to do as well. So we're going to add, if you go scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll notice that there is an option to add a symbol. And this is where we're going to actually add in the mandala of the sacred oil. Okay, so we're going to press the cross button, and here already, and some of you won't know this, that there are already pictures in the aura reading that's come up for you. And these are the pictures that would be normally sent into your field. So that's already in there. And that's actually this part of the frequency when you're sending that. Okay. So we've got two pictures in there. We've got the color purple and we've got this amazing mandala, which is already there, but we're going to add another one. Okay. Which is going to be frankincense. So we're going to add image by clicking that, and we're going to choose from the gallery, and I'm going to find a frankincense, which I took pictures earlier. Okay, here we go. So I don't want to go through every single one of them. So I'm just going to look in the book to remember which picture. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, beautiful. So this one here is the frankincense. Okay, it should come up now in a second. This is frankincense right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, anyone else that's interested to know, it's also possible to actually, if you don't want to do these symbols, you can also take a picture of an essential oil or something that you may have as well. Okay. So if you have a look at the screen, hopefully you can see me. I'm just checking that you can see me. That you can actually, yeah, you can. So there's actually a bottle here that I've got of myrtle. And this is also possible to actually take a picture of myrtle in the essential oil and also then pop that into the scan as well. Okay, does that make sense for everybody? Just checking in the chat if there's any questions at all, please feel free to put them in. I'm happy to help you. Any questions in the Zoom chat, just let me know if everything makes sense. Okay, so fantastic. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to just once that's in, by the way, you don't need to press a tick or a yes or a confirm, because now it's in there. We're just going to press the cross in the top right corner. All right, so that's now in there. If you want to double check that, you can do by just going back in again and just going in and just, obviously it's still there. All right, just if you're not sure. Brilliant. So we're going to press the tick now on the scan, which then has brought us back to the beginning. Michelle, do you want to leave the other scans in there as well?
What do you recommend?
Well, I mean, it came up, so it's something in your field. So, I mean, I probably would leave them in there anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And I'm just going to now show everybody about how to manually add your own affirmation or your own desire in here as well, because that's also possible, is by going to actions, which is at the bottom, the big pink button. Okay. And there you get the option to add manually. So you're going to click that add manually. And here we get like a completely blank slate. Okay. So in here, we can actually add in another sacred oil, if we'd like, but we can also add in a desired state as well. So is there something that you would like to manifest in your life right now? Or is there something that you feel like you could bring into your field? Or is there an affirmation, another one that you'd like to put in there?
Yes, I'd like to manifest the right home in the right place.
Okay. So if we put in, we'll do it as if it's already happened. So I've found Would you like to say my dream home or the right home? What resonates better for you?
The right home for my needs.
The right home for my needs. Okay, so there we go. We've put the desired state in there. Now the desired state description, we can leave it blank, but what I've been doing in there is I've been adding in how would that make you feel if you found the right home, which was perfect for you, and it actually helped you, you know, it kind of confirmed everything you needed.
Freer.
Okay, so free, so freedom.
Yeah,
free.
that's the first thing that came to mind. Free,
yeah, perfect. That's a really good one. So you could also put I am free. Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
So then in there, I usually add in like something a bit more general, like how would that make you feel if you had it? So say, for example, it could be something like that would give me peace, that would give me joy, that would make me healthy, or I'd feel healthy. Something like that is nice to pop into the desired state description. Okay.
Yeah, that would make me content.
Oh, that would make me content. Would you like to add that as well as?
Yes, please.
Okay, I am free and we've got to do it as if it's already happened. So we say I am free.
I feel content.
And I feel content. Fantastic. All right, great. So we've got the desired state description, the present state description. It doesn't really matter unless you really feel like you wanted to put something in there.
Present state, how I feel right now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can put in what you feel like now if you'd like to. Yeah.
I feel really claustrophobic.
Okay, no worries. So we'll go. I'll put feeling claustrophobic. Okay, perfect. That's enough now. So we'll go down, and what we'll do is we'll add in the intent. I always put this everything at the maximum when it's our own entry. So we'll do intent. Irrelevance is 100%. Intensity is 10. Okay, sometimes you've got to keep scrolling down every time you make a change. And now the potency is an interesting one because, as some of you will know, the potency is the homeopathic. It's a homeopathic remedy. All right, so you've got, if we just click on it, we're going to get like a list of the homeopathic remedies that's usually given to us automatically, actually, when we've done a scan. Now I know a little bit about it. Now the D is physical, and the next one, the C, is mental, emotional, and the LM is spiritual. Okay. Now the higher the number, the more stronger it is because it's more diluted. All right. So what would you say this would affect you on? Would you say it would affect you physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual?
Spiritual.
Okay, great. And so would you be happy to go with like, let's go to LM. LM, we'll maybe just go to the top one, which is LM 100,000.
Yeah, go maximum.
Maximum. Okay, brilliant. So there we go. We've got that in. Now I don't know much about homeopathic remedies. So if anyone's watching that does and has some advice on this, please get in touch because I'm trying to learn more. And I think I'm going to have to end up doing a training course or something to understand it. Okay, so we're going to add a symbol in here. Okay, so I would recommend we definitely put a sacred oil mandala in there. And we'll choose maybe 1 or 2 or 3 if you like. All right, so let me just go back to the book and I'll just read through them again and just tell me what you think would be good. Now, what I would also suggest, because it's about your home, the root chakra is your security. And usually that would be where our base is. It's our base, it's our security, it's where we feel safe and secure and free. So some of the oils which I've written down here for that are as follows. So we've got cedarwood, atlas, we've got myrrh, oponax, Palo Santo and patchouli and yarrow. Okay, so we've got, I'll explain to what some of those are. So just going to that book. So cedarwood atlas is strength of spirit. The myrrh is wisdom and forgiveness. We've got also opoponax, which is shape shifting and shape borrowing, which sounds interesting. We've got Palo Santo, which is protection. And we've got patchouli, which is for grounding, and yarrow, which is for sensitivity, fear, and soul wounds. Do any of those resonate, or would you like me to look at some of the other ones?
No, the protection one, please.
Okay, good choice. I like that. I like the protection one. I think at the moment we all need to strengthen our protection as much as possible. I'm saying that because every time I do a scan on myself, I get the protection programs at the top, and I'm feeling actually quite very much attacked from the energy that's happening in the world right now.
Yes,
and I feel at the moment as well that even if we are, even if we're not really participating in it, we still feel all of that energy that's going on, and especially if you're open and sensitive, we're going to really feel that in our fields. And the frequency right now is so high. We've completely shifted into another dimension, and a lot of us are feeling that. And I don't know if anyone here on the call is feeling that, but just know, are you feeling that as well?
Absolutely, literally for 16 months. And that's probably why I felt so alone. It's nothing to do with my life personally, or, or my emotions. It's just what's going on in the world. So yes, and I sometimes it gets so intense, and I think, how can I tap out of this, or how do I cope? And I've just got to like keep going through it, because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it for everybody.
Definitely. And this is the perfect one for it, because protection is going to give you that strength as well, and also that kind of shield, that you're a bit more protected from the energy that's happening out there. So that's great. So let's have a go. Just going to find the mandala now. Protection for Palo Santo. Let's have a look. Yes, this is great because it's also red. So add symbols. So again, going to the bottom of the screen there, you see add symbol, and we're going to add an image, which I took pictures. This is something that I recommend anyone that's doing this, is make sure that you take pictures before you do the scan, because then otherwise you're going to be searching for pictures in the middle of a scan, and it's not really working that way. So this is the one for Palo Santo.
So I presume you get the pictures of the mandalas from your book?
This is from the book, but you can take any picture from anywhere.
Right.
So you can also take a picture of the, for example, myrtle, because we've got myrtle as the book in the book as well. I believe, yeah, the gatekeeper of sacred threshold for summoning the muse. So, for example, I'm just going to show you, add image, because I took the picture of the myrtle bottle here. Can you see? You could also do that if it's an oil. It's a bit slow, actually. Sorry, everybody. There we go. The myrtle is there, so we could leave that in if you like.
Yeah.
Because we're also sending the frequency of that. But also anyone, if you've got like a sound or something that you'd like to put in there, it's also possible to do that. And I know that if you're taking the sounds off YouTube, it's not always 100% safe, because the reason being is that the actual frequencies of YouTube is not always perfect, exact. So I know that there is John Scavola is his name. He's actually creating sounds and he sells them actually on his website. I can pop it later if anyone's interested, and you can actually add in different vibrations for it, which is where it is record vibration, and then that way you can also add that in as well. You can also, just maybe pick something that you particularly like to listen to, or maybe even a peaceful or relaxing soundtrack, or anything, or something that makes you feel secure. All right, we're not going to do that today, but just so that everybody knows it's possible to do that as well. All right. And yeah, just taking a picture, maybe, you know, for example, it can be a picture of your dream house in here, for example. That would be fantastic. So I don't know if you have a picture of your dream house.
No,
Right now,
it's in my mind.
but if it's in your mind, but what maybe when we send the frequencies in a little while, is something you can focus on. And also in the future, if you wanted to do this yourself, this is a great way to do it. And I'm a massive believer in vision boards. And they are so powerful. And what you can do is get, like, you know, go online, print off any of your favorite things that you want to bring into your life, but also look through magazines. Some people prefer that. But, you know, just making a little mini vision board and then taking a picture of it and then putting it into your scan and then sending the frequency of your vision board into your field. All right. Also a great idea. So you can get really creative with it. Yeah. All right. So that looks good. Do you want to, is that good? Would you like to try another, would you like to have one more, another, maybe one more oil in there?
Yeah, if you want.
Do you want me to go through them again quickly?
I'll just say what come to my mind. The Mary Magdalene one. What was that one?
I was thinking the same. You know what? Every time I open my book, I pick the Mary Magdalene one, and it's funny because I'm very connected to Mary Magdalene, and I feel like it's that kind of this kind of not a healer, but more like someone that can hold space for the world, and just also this person that is the mother, almost like the mother of all. Not just children, but just the mother of all people. And also it's a very strong one, actually. I'm just going to go to it because I think it's nice just to know what it is that we're going to send into your field.
Yes, that's my middle name as well, actually.
Is it?
Yes.
No way. Oh, that's really funny. We've got the Mary Magdalene Centre in Glastonbury, which is a wellness centre that I work from, and we do a lot of frequency work in there, and it's right on the Mary Magdalene line. It's literally on the ley line, so it's a fantastic place to go and meditate and do all those amazing things where we can connect with her, but also Mother Mary as well, you know, connecting with all the Marys, which is great. I'm just going to search for the page and we'll go through. Marigold, Vision and Prophecy. That sounds good for this, actually. 113. So let's go to that page. No, it's not that one. Oh, 129. That's what we want. All right. So Marigold. Do not argue with what is, simply follow the progress of truth. So the marigold positively shimmers with energy. It opens portals to other worlds. There you go. There's your portal. And often triggers a breakthrough from one level of consciousness to another. It spans so many dimensions that it's impossible to imagine its limits. Because it's both timeless and vast, marigold is a wonderful oil for people who've been working with such energy and they now feel exhausted. It slowly brings them down from great heights. It also encourages dreams and daytime visions. It brings a sense of warmth and joy, as well as feminine energy that's nurturing and uplifting. So this is one of the several oils to have an etheric link to the temple teachings of Mary Magdalene, who's the mother of the Mirophores. It represents her guidance and wisdom, and it can be used to channel her teachings about working with all of the sacred oils. Marigold oil can act as a portal to her temple. It's been used for divination and healing for thousands of years. Okay, and it contains the wisdom it contains can form a mirror that reveals our true path and links us to parts of ourselves that may exist in a different dimension.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's an all-seeing and all-knowing oil.
Right.
So yeah, I think that just fits perfectly with this particular reading that we're doing.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll just go to the Magdalene, the marigolds. There it is, beautiful. I'll just add an image, go to the gallery. There we go, this one. So just going down, we've got the marigold mandala right there. All right. So now that's in there, we're going to just press the cross. It's all in there. We're going to press the tick now, and we've now added in the manual option, and also we've got the 3 that came up on the scan. All right, so we're going to send the vibrations out now to you, and we're going to, well, we'll see what happens. And obviously you can get in touch with me in the next couple of days and explain, and just explain, and just let me know if anything has changed or if you feel any different. And anyone that's doing this can actually, we're going to show you how to actually go in to the list and the history where you can actually send this to yourself every day. So you don't have to rescan yourself every day. You can just go and go in the history and just send it. So you're regularly sending the frequencies into your field. All right. So let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm just going to look at just some of the questions actually before I get started. Catherine, do you also record the vibration of the oil, or its image itself enough? So another idea as well, if you want to record the vibration of the oil, is a really nice idea, is if you have the oil itself, you can actually put it into your hand, or just, you know, do a little bit of into your hand, into your palms, take a smell of it, and then obviously you've got the vibration in your hand. And then what you can do is pop the Healy into your hand and then record the vibration of whatever that is actually resonating on your hand. All right, so that's another way to record the vibration of the oil. Another way as well is to also think and have your intention on the oil itself, and then do the vibration and then record it. All right, remember, everything is about intention. Everything is about that, and that's how this works in the quantum realm. All right, great. And let me just check the Facebook group quickly and just check there's any really good ones. Just brilliant. Yeah, Zelda is also feeling the sensitive energies of what's going on in the world right now. It's so nice to see everyone who's joining. Thank you for being here. That's great. All right, so I'm just going to ask you now. We're going to press vibrate. Okay. Here we've got now all of the scans that have come up, and we're going to just do 1 minute 20 seconds. So I'm just going to ask everyone that's now who's here with us to just maybe focusing on your own intentions as well while we do this, but also Michelle, you can just close your eyes and focus on this, and remember to focus on the feeling that you're going to have when you've already received all of these things. When you've received your house, or the feeling that you'd like to have to give you that contentment and that freedom and the joy that you're looking for. All right, so I'm going to start now. Here we go. And we can all just do a little meditation while this is going on. All right, so everyone can just close their eyes and just taking a breath in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And just focusing on that silence in the room and within. And wherever you are right now, just feeling the earth beneath you, beneath your feet, or whether you're sitting on a chair or on the floor. And just connecting with the earth. And just watching the breath go in and out, not changing anything at all. Letting that happen naturally. And now just focusing on that feeling of joy and freedom and contentment. And almost now visualizing yourself in that house, that dream house, that would be right for you. And then feeling that it feels to be inside of that house. And maybe even going over to a window and looking out and seeing what the view is like. And then just even imagining where you're going to put the furniture and just that feeling of space that you're looking for. And your dog who's sitting by your feet or on your lap. And just feeling that immense feeling of joy and peace and happiness and freedom that you deserve and that you're worthy of. And feeling strong within your boundaries as well, which is what the focus was originally about. And feeling that feeling of what it is when you say no to something that you do not want. And feeling powerful and feeling within your own power, what that feels like. And now we're going to slowly come back, okay, when you're ready. And come back with that feeling and carrying that feeling through with you. Right, and then opening your eyes, and everyone else who's here with us can now also open your eyes. All right. How do you feel?
Good.
That's good. So it's really nice to do some kind of meditation or visualization with any kind of scan that anyone is doing for this. It makes it much more powerful, and it really helps those frequencies manifest in your field much stronger and with much more conviction, and you'll find that it will work better as well. All right. I just want to say thank you so much as well for volunteering for this, because this is quite a lot to be on, on a live scan where people will see this, and it's just really nice that you've volunteered and put yourself forward for it. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
brilliant. And I'm just going to show everyone here before we finish the scan today, is I'm just going to show you how you actually go and you can find this scan again for later. All right. So say, for example, we've closed this down now and we've gone back to the original scan, which is this page here. All right. What we do is we go to the little house in the corner on the very left hand side, and where we've got lists and clients. So we're going to go to lists, and in here, we've got Michelle there at the very top, as you can see in the pink. We're going to click that one. And here it brings you straight back to that scan that we did. And you can do this anytime. All right. And you can vibrate at any time. Also, for you to remember which scan this is, because often, obviously, if we just go back, it's just got the date and the time. If you slide left, okay, on that particular scan, so we're just going to slide across, you can see that you can rename it.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to click rename, and we're going to name this Michelle. Desires, maybe, and also sacred oils, maybe sacred oils. Sacred oils. All right, so we know that that's your scan, and we're going to save that. All right, and what I can do is I can actually send this into your field every day for the next week, for example.
Oh, thank you.
That's
so
yeah, because I send them every day for myself for certain things. So what it will be is, it's really good to do that. But also, if anyone here's got clients that they work with regularly, or if there's someone that's ill or someone that needs some support, it's really nice to do that as well, to offer that opportunity. You can also, if you're a professional and also want to add this into your treatments that you offer people, it's also an opportunity to say to someone that you can continue the healing process for them. And you can also say, oh, at 9 o'clock every evening, or at 9 a.m. every morning. I'm going to send you the frequencies, so just be ready, and that kind of thing. All right, so it's all possible. How do you do that, Abby? Kelly, what do you mean by that? I'm just looking at the chat. Do you mean the changing the name? Just write in the chat, or if you want to.
I've unmuted myself. Is that all right?
Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
How do you send them to people and to yourself? I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay, so it's the same thing. So for example, Michelle is distant. Okay, so she's not here with me, and this works in the quantum. All right, so it's obviously sending the frequencies out there, and it's going to work on her information field, because we've put her information in. All right, and if you can always go back into the lists, no matter whatever scan that you do, and you can always resend them. So I'm just going to show you again. So I'm going to click on it like that. All right. Yeah. So here comes the scan that we just did, and we can now press vibrate. And again, we can just vibrate them again.
Okay.
Do you want to go through again how we got there?
Yeah, I'm okay on that. And how long do you normally vibrate them for, Abby?
So I usually just do 1 minute 20 seconds, because they say it only takes a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds to imprint an information field. So that's what they say, but there are actually some a few guidance that some time waiver practitioners have sent me, and I've got the information, which I can probably send later in the comments of this of the Facebook Live. If you just have a look in a bit after we finished, okay. I'll pop in the comments this document I have, because it gives you like a guidance of how long you should send frequencies for. But also, like, depending on what it is that you're sending it. So if it's spiritual or mental, emotional, or physical, it gives you like a specific time for each one, or whether it's an acute condition or not. So yeah, that's a good kind of little guide that you can use. But you know, use your intuition. I sometimes, if I'm going to meditate, I sometimes go to 12 minutes, for example. It depends. If you want to do a longer meditation, you could do 26 minutes, for example. So Michelle, yes. How long to send frequencies? It depends again. Yeah, it depends on how long. I will pop that into the comments of the Facebook Live chat in the group after this call. All right. So just search for that, and then you can use that guidance for anything at all. But you know, like, I personally wouldn't do that like hours. I feel frequencies really intensely, and I think that sometimes it can be just too much. I also take on the less is more way of working. So yeah, we can work that way. All right. Does that answer your question, Kelly?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Abby.
Brilliant. I'm just going to quickly check the Facebook group to make sure. Okay, yeah, so everyone's asking how long to send them for. So again, you know, use your intuition, do what feels right for you. If it's something that is really chronic, then you send it for longer. If it's something that's a little bit less chronic, or not so strong, then do it for less. But I will send you that document that I've got just afterwards. All right, great. Does anyone else have any questions regarding this or anything else regarding Healy? I'm just going to stop sharing my screen so we can be...
Abby, can I just ask, when you go into select, you've got D, C and L. Am I right? D is physical, C is emotional, and L is spiritual.
Exactly. Right. Now, another thing, I've actually got a chart for the potencies as well, which gives you an idea of what they all mean. So what I'll do is, in the comments after this, I'll put both the potency chart, and I'll put also the document explaining how often and how long to send the frequencies for.
Excellent, thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions at all in relation to this for anyone, or relating to anything else that about Healy? anyone want to share anything at all about any kind of scans they've been doing recently? I think there is no one today. No. Okay, that's fine. I think we've gone over anyway by 6 minutes, so it's a good I think it's a really good time to finish the call. Just want to say thank you everyone for joining this last minute call. If there's any questions, feel free to private message me and I'm happy to help. And again, thank you, Michelle, so much for being, you know, being the volunteer today and allowing me to send those sacred oils into your field.
No, thank you very much. Thanks so much, and for all you. I didn't know you could do that on the Healy, so that's a new one for me, going in and writing all that stuff before. So I've been making notes. That's really valuable. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries at all. And you know what, like that's just one element. There's so much more we can do. And what we'll do is next week, because at the moment Vicky's not able to join me on the Healy Hangouts, so what I'm doing is I'm just getting a bit creative and I'm going to do a few demos like this. So if anyone's got any wishes that they'd like me to do, or if just feel free to message me, because I'm really open to trying out new things. And I will be doing something again next week about how we can use this Healy to the best of our ability, really. All right.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, I love your those necklace that bead.
Oh, yeah.
They are gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you so much. This is one I actually made my friend. It's made from really rare moonstone, but she picked some of the crystals herself. But it's obviously I've got these cases now that I've got from the bioresonance store, because I noticed that a lot of people with the older Healys have their clips broken, or they want more for them.
Mine's broken.
So's mine.
So like, I mean, this is a longer one. I don't know if you can see it. So it goes all the way down to the belly button. My belly button's just there. So it's really nice because it's a really nice length. And yeah, I mean, I'm really in love with this moonstone. I've made so many now. Everyone keeps asking.
Have you?
Yeah.
I was going to contact you to find out how much it all works out to.
Yeah, sure. I've got an Etsy shop now, actually, that you can I'll also put a link into you there, but I've updated it today, but it's not 100% perfect because I've only got the short ones on the Etsy shop at the moment, but you can actually pick a length and you can also custom tell me what your wishes are. Like I have a list of crystals with their meanings, and like if you want I can send you the link to that, and you can choose your own crystals, and I can just make one just for you, which is something that resonates for you, and design it for you. That's also possible. So yeah, it's exciting. I love it because it's so creative, and especially when I spend a lot of time online, you know, doing a lot of screen stuff, it's so nice to just like put that away and just do something which is good for my sacral and a bit more you know, creative and better for my other side of my brain. So yeah. Brilliant. All right, thank you for commenting on that. That's lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, lovely to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next week for the next Healy Hangout. All right. Yeah, have a lovely evening or day, everybody.